Gene Hackman, a true Hollywood legend, captivated audiences with his remarkable performances, but also left people intrigued by the life and mysteries that lay beyond the limelight. When he passed away, his vast fortune and prestigious accolades were only a small part of the story. Beneath the Oscar statues and iconic films lay a tale of isolation, lost connections, and puzzling choices he left behind for his family to unravel. Hackman's story isn't just that of a star, but a deep dive into secrecy, loss, and hidden truths. What do you think about the mysteries Hackman left behind? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. As the investigation unfolded, the mysterious clues only fueled growing conspiracy theories. Strange vials of medicine were discovered, some used and others still sealed, prompting experts to wonder if Hackman had ever experimented with a secret drug or been part of a covert program. The notes and fingerprints on the documents only deepened the complexity of the case. Investigators have yet to reach a final conclusion, but every clue they uncover reveals a fragmented piece of a much larger secret, one that may have been buried underground for decades. Gene Hackman has passed away, leaving behind a mountain of money and Oscar statues. But what his family discovered were the shattered pieces of trust, love, and missed chances for reconciliation. The memories of him weren't just the photos on the walls, but the size of the pictures left behind. Faded scenes from the film Family Night's glory that once surrounded Hackman's life in a glittering halo. Yet, when the Hollywood lights dimmed, all that remained were the echoes of the past. A place where an old man continued to write letters to his children, knowing they would never be sent. Even in death, the only way Hackman could truly end his story was by vanishing from it. He wrote his own conclusion by leaving the world in an unexpected way. News of his passing broke on a gloomy morning, just before dawn, with no warning, much like his reclusive life over the last 2 decades. When the news broke in a local newspaper, it quickly caught the attention of both Hollywood media and Hackman's own family. Everything began to unravel as the family's long-hidden doors swung open after years of being tightly sealed. Hackman's family had never truly grasped the full extent of his wealth. While the image of a Hollywood legend with 2 Oscars, walking the most prestigious red carpets, implied great fortune, no one ever questioned the immense wealth Hackman had quietly amassed. However, the truth about his assets remained elusive. When a handwritten will from 2001 was discovered and notarized, the Hackman family believed everything was settled. The house in Santa Fe, a bank account in California, and the vintage Hudson Hornet Hackman had kept since his youth. The total value was estimated at around $5 million, a modest sum considering his illustrious career. But as they dug deeper, old documents surfaced, revealing a completely different story. Gene Hackman was not just a remarkable actor, but also a master at concealing his wealth in the financial world. Since the 1990s, after winning his second Oscar, Hackman quietly crafted a complex financial network, involving stocks, real estate, anonymous investment funds, and discreet overseas transfers. These secret transactions were never directly tied to Hackman, but after tracing the series of deals, every penny ultimately led back to a single account he had set up in 1993. The total value of his assets, piecing together all the clues, was estimated to surpass $80 million. This staggering figure left even his closest friends in utter shock. What truly shocked Hackman's family wasn't just the amount of money, but the elaborate ways he had concealed it over the years. He used aliases, trust accounts in Switzerland, the Cayman Islands, and Singapore. The biggest question that remained was why he kept this fortune hidden from his own family. Was it a matter of mistrust, or were there darker, undisclosed secrets at play? A theory began to circulate within the Hackman family. He had lived emotionally and financially distant, as if fearing that revealing his wealth would pull him into endless disputes. To protect himself, he constructed financial walls so impenetrable that even his own children couldn't access them. This case appears to be more than a routine investigation into an accident. Reports of strange visitors at night and workers vanishing during the mansion's construction have only heightened the public's intrigue. How could these people vanish without a trace? Could they be linked to the underground tunnel? Are these disappearances the key to unlocking the hidden truths? The FBI has kept details sealed, fueling rumors about an underground network, buried treasures, or even a grand conspiracy tied to Hackman's life. Each unanswered question only intensifies the mystery, drawing people in and sparking a relentless desire to uncover what lies beneath. As rumors about Gene Hackman's health swirled through Hollywood, an investigation began to uncover the final pieces of his life. Some speculated that Hackman had secretly written a will years ago, splitting his fortune into multiple accounts to prevent disputes over his assets. Others believed he had set up an anonymous charity, channeling much of his wealth into it as a quiet way to atone for abandoning his children. The less Hackman appeared, the more he became the focus of endless conspiracy theories and made-up tales. Yet, in his modest home in Santa Fe, he quietly spent his final days, leaving behind not just a legendary career, but also lingering mysteries. What are your thoughts on the mysteries surrounding Hackman's life? Drop your comments below. On long evenings, Gene Hackman would often sit alone in the living room, his gaze fixed on old family tapes. He wrote a letter to Elizabeth, his youngest daughter, on her 30th birthday, but it never left the drawer. Hackman confessed that throughout his life, he believed he was protecting her by keeping his distance, wanting her to live free from the shadow of his fame. But now, he wondered if he had only been protecting himself, hiding from those he loved. Each letter Hackman wrote was a glimpse into his soul, revealing parts of himself his family had never seen. Hackman wasn't just a Hollywood legend, he was a lonely man, torn between his desire to protect his family and the fear of losing himself in the role of father. The more the Hackman family sifted through old drawers, the more unexpected pieces of the puzzle they uncovered. Mysterious financial deals, unexplained transfers, and most shockingly, a list of beneficiaries that made no sense. Hackman had crafted a secret inheritance list that excluded every member of his family. No one could answer, but shock and outrage filled the room as the Hackman family uncovered the truth. An emotional storm erupted, with Christopher, the eldest son, the first to express his anger. He condemned his father for living a life of pretense, and even in death, continuing to play a role within his own family. Instead, millions of dollars were transferred to strangers, like a childhood friend in California, a retired assistant from the 80s, and even a server at his favorite restaurant. Why had Hackman chosen these people, and why had his family been left out? With a broken heart, Elizabeth held the letters to her chest, as if they were the last remnants of the father she had always idolized. The childhood memories of Hackman sitting by the window on Sunday mornings, reading the newspaper, were now shattered by the harsh truth. Betsy Arakawa, Hackman's second wife, sat silently in the corner of the room. After all those years together, she realized she had never truly understood the man she had called her husband. His disappearances, his unannounced trips, now all made sense, becoming parts of a larger picture of a man who had lived in solitude. The emotional earthquake didn't end there, as the family lawyer uncovered secret accounts. Over $20 million had been transferred by Hackman to an anonymous charity, the GH Legacy Fund. The true purpose of this fund remained a mystery, but one thing was clear. Hackman had chosen to trust strangers over his own family. As the lawyers began reading the will, each word seemed to hang in the air, suspended in the silent room. Over $80 million in assets were listed: stocks, real estate in California and New Mexico, an art collection, and vintage cars. However, Hackman had set strict inheritance conditions. No one in the family was allowed to exploit the Hackman name for memoirs, documentaries, or to sell his story. No one was allowed to publicly dispute the estate in the media. There was also a secret fund, called the Pristine Fund, and anyone in the family who accessed it would immediately forfeit their inheritance. This revealed that Hackman had crafted a life of absolute control, even in death. Everything, from his film career to his personal story, remained firmly under his command. One of the unfinished scripts Hackman never sent began with the line, "If there is an afterlife, I want to be born without anyone knowing who I am." It was a disguised autobiography, recounting his life from the dark corners he had never shared. Hackman's handwritten notes, sometimes shaky in their execution, revealed a man torn between his desire for success and the betrayal he felt from within himself. Amidst the vague financial documents, Hackman also left behind a secret investment fund worth millions, transferred into private funds starting in the late 90s. In the transaction records, one name stood out: Frankie the Fox Catalano, a notorious Hollywood mafia boss. Hackman, known for his propriety, had maintained a relationship with this gangster for decades. His past, filled with unexplained debts and shady dealings, now became an inseparable part of the legacy he left behind. These connections, long buried in secrecy, raised more questions than answers, casting a dark shadow over the life of the man once revered as a Hollywood legend. Hackman and Betsy Arakawa lived a peaceful life away from Hollywood, but no one knew that behind those quiet walls was a man who controlled everything. Betsy once said, Gene was the perfect husband as long as I didn't touch what he called his personal legacy. That legacy wasn't just his film career, it was the control over his own story. Christopher, the eldest son, felt the weight of Hackman's shadow with every step he took. When the will was revealed, he nearly laughed. "He won even in death," he said. "He controls everything, even our thoughts." Despite Hackman's family hiring financial experts and private investigators to trace his mysterious funds, all efforts led to dead ends. Every time they made progress, it seemed Hackman was always a decade ahead of them. When the family's attorney released the official estate report, most of what was recorded was just the tip of the iceberg: the house in Santa Fe, the vintage car, and a few bank accounts. The rest of his true assets remained concealed somewhere in the shadows of the financial world, known only to Hackman, and with his passing, those secrets went with him. This vast fortune, instead of becoming a family legacy, had turned into the ruins of a man who chose to give up everything to maintain absolute control. As the Hackman family stood before the old house, where time seemed to have stopped, they realized they had never truly belonged in his life. A legendary man, living in isolation, holding on to his wealth as part of his soul, now taking those secrets to the grave. His legacy had become an unsolvable puzzle for those who were closest to him. Leave number 1 if you feel touched by this story. Elizabeth, the youngest daughter, had always hoped her father would leave her some freedom, but those hopes were shattered by the cold terms in the will. Not a single line offered emotion or a personal message from Hackman, only conditions and threats of disinheritance. His vast fortune became a burden, pulling the family into the depths of unmet expectations. Hackman sat coldly, watching his children struggle through disputes and rumors surrounding the untouched fund. Speculations about off-the-books investments and the anonymous charity spread, ensnaring the Hackman family in a relentless obsession with the secrets he left behind. When both Hackman and Betsy passed away, the things he had kept hidden from his family became a heavy burden. The entire family was torn, unsure whether to protect his legacy or uncover the secrets he left behind. The bitter truth emerged. Hackman's greatest legacy wasn't his wealth or fame, but a broken family, forever overshadowed by the immense legacy of a Hollywood legend. In the long-locked study, the family discovered unfinished scripts and Hackman's personal journals. The pages revealed untold stories, memories of a life he had tried to keep hidden, from his time as a Marine to his rise as an Oscar-winning star. His $4 million mansion, once a symbol of success and power, has now become the focal point of a mysterious investigation. The FBI's unexpected raid uncovered a hidden underground tunnel, thrusting Gene Hackman, one of Hollywood's greatest stars with a tumultuous life, into the heart of an unprecedented case. The dark secrets hidden beneath this mansion not only conceal Hackman's past, but also set investigators on a trail of events that raise a chilling question. Was the death of him and his wife just a tragic accident? Or is there a sinister conspiracy at play? The investigators uncovered evidence that sent chills down their spines. Old photographs, secret documents, and bizarre, unexplainable symbols surfaced during the search. Among the most chilling discoveries was an old, dust-covered phone with unread messages and a crumpled calendar filled with cryptic notes. This only fueled suspicions that Hackman may have been tied to an underground network. Behind those photos are untold stories, mysterious figures, and encounters the public has never known. Each find deepens the mystery surrounding his life and death, raising more questions than answers. Gene Hackman's life is not just the story of a Hollywood legend, but also a lesson in loneliness, untold secrets, and decisions that even his family must now reflect upon. Although he has passed, his legacy and the unanswered questions continue to linger in the hearts of both the public and his loved ones. Hackman lived a complex life, and the mysteries he left behind will forever be part of a story that no one can fully unravel. His story invites us to reflect on fame, control, and the things we may never fully understand. What are your thoughts on Hackman's life and legacy? Share your opinions in the comments.